Hello everyone, Merry Christmas! Oh, hang on a minute, this isn't right, is it? Give me a second. Oh, well that's better, isn't it? Oh my goodness, so it's that time of year again, we're on the countdown to Christmas, and what have I got for you today? Well, I've got this massive Christmas tree that I'm going to show you how to build. It's got working Christmas lights, as you can see, they're all twinkling away there behind me, and I'm going to show you what to do. Now, I've used red wool in here because I'm stupid. You can see it through the leaves, can't you? But what we're going to do, we're going to use green wool because that makes much more sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does, Flash. So we're going to use green wool in the middle there to take all of the redstone circuitry. And to be fair, it's not really that difficult. It is quite intensive on materials though. We've got a lot of repeaters, we've got a lot of observers, and of course a lot of redstone lamps. So if you're building this in survival, it's going to take you quite a lot of time to gather all of those resources, I would imagine. Unless, of course, you're quite far on in your world, in which case it'll be absolutely no bother to you. So without any further ado, let's crack on with this build. So from up here on top of the Christmas tree, like the best angel a Christmas tree could wish for, we're going to go through the materials that you're going to need for this build. If you need to pause the video, do it now and take a note of what's on screen. It's up there over my right hand shoulder somewhere. So the first thing you need to do is decide where you're going to put your tree, and I'm going to pop mine here. And what we're going to do, we're going to put some spruce logs in this configuration, and we're going to go up 3 high on each of those, which leaves a nice handy little channel under there. And the reason we need that hole through the centre of the trunk is because we're now going to dig a channel 2 deep in front of the tree like this, and we need to dig it 4 wide. Now we need to come underneath the trunk here, and as you'll see, we've got the hole which will allow us to put our tower of observers right the way to the top of your tree to allow your Christmas tree lights to blink. Now we're going to take a block and we're going to place it just one to the right of the hole, and it doesn't matter which block it is as long as it conducts redstone. And on the back of that block we're going to put a redstone torch. Now coming around to the front, we're going to put a repeater, a redstone repeater, along with a blob of dust, and then we're going to put a comparator feeding into that. And then on the back of that comparator we're going to put a lever. Now we need to press this button here by right clicking so that the comparator will go into subtraction mode. Now we also need to place a repeater feeding back into that comparator, and then what we do is we put a piece of redstone dust connecting this piece of redstone dust, and we bring it all the way around so it goes back into that repeater. Now what will happen is this circuit will continually go around blinking, but if you leave it as it is, you can see that the redstone torch burns out. I'll just show you what that looks like so you know. It'll pulse for a little while and then it'll sizzle out like that. So the way to avoid that is to put this repeater on its maximum level. So move the lever all the way back as far as it'll go, and then you'll get a nice steady pulse on this redstone torch, and that is all you're going to need to do for that. So you can cover all of this up quite happily now. Your redstone circuit is done. What I would recommend though is just before you cover it up, you just pop a torch in there just to keep the area underneath illuminated. Now the next thing we've got to do is put the leaves in some sort of shape that represents a Christmas tree, so that's what we're going to do next. Now the circumference of the tree is 23 blocks, so we need to come out 10 from our trunk here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to start over here and we're going to put the leaves in place, and we need to come up 3 with the leaves there, and we're going to start on the 3rd block. Now the first line is going to be 5 wide, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we put a temporary block there, break it and come out 3. Then another temporary block there, break it and come out 2. Another one there, and we'll just leave 1. And we repeat that exactly the same on the other side. So we go 3, temporary block, 2, temporary block, 1. And that is how we're going to do it all the way around the Christmas tree. Now, each of these sections needs to come up 3 high. We'll just get that done, and we'll carry on with the rest of the tree. So now that we've got the first layer done, we need to go ahead and do the subsequent layers. Now each layer above the first one is going to be one step behind the layer that you just placed. I put the green wool here just as an example so we can place the leaves quite easily. Now if you do use this as a template, obviously you're going to need to break the wool once you're done. But other than that, let's carry on. So now coming inside of your tree, it's time to start the redstone that's going to make all of your Christmas lights flash. And we need to come down here first of all into this little hole that we made earlier. To save ourselves some observers, we're going to alternate wool with observers. If we put a piece of wool on top of that flashing redstone torch there and then put a blob of redstone on top of that, you can see that it starts to flash. So if you now put an observer on top of that, you'll see that the little red light on the observer begins to flash. So we can pop another piece of wool there and then redstone dust on top of that, and as you can see that flashes too. So rather than using the 4 observers that it would take to get the redstone signal up to this level, we've used 1 and saved ourselves a load of materials. So now the next job is to get the redstone signal from the centre here all the way over to our leaves. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to place wool in between the trunk and the leaves like this. And then when we get to the end, we're going to take out this block of leaves and we're going to replace it with a redstone lamp. And then if we put redstone dust between the centre there and this lamp with the repeater for the final block, you can see that the redstone lamp lights up. Now we could just put redstone there if we liked, but as you see it's quite a fast flash, depends what you want. If we put a repeater there, we can set it onto its longest delay and just get a slower flash. Plus what we can also do to randomise the flashing around the tree is we can put another repeater here and that'll make it flash at a different rate again. And if we do that randomly as we go up the tree, we'll have all of our blinking lights blinking at different times. So now I'm going to do the other 3 sides and put the redstone lamps in, and then we'll carry on with the rest of it. The next job will be to get the redstone lights in the corners of the tree. Now, so we don't complicate things, we're going to carry on and do the lights up this central panel all the way to the top of the tree, just using this cross shape to begin with, and then we'll concentrate on getting the lights on these bits here behind my head. So the first thing we need to do is we need to place the observer, not like that flash, we need to place the observer like that, where the face is pointing downwards observing this piece of flashing redstone, which will send out a new redstone signal out the back there. So then we pop a block of wool, or whatever block you like. I'm using green wool because it goes better than red wool inside of the tree. So then we put some flashing redstone on top of that, and we take out this line here right the way to the end there, and we pop that out and we pop in a redstone lamp. Set that to 4 like we did earlier, and we'll come back and we'll randomize this flashing when we've done all of the circuits. I'll carry on and do this all the way to the top, and I'll see you up there. So now we finished the lights going to the central section like that, you might decide to leave it like that because it looks absolutely fine, I think. But you could also add more lights. I'm going to add more just for the sake of it so I can show you what you need to do. Now we can add lights here like this, and we can do that all the way around and right up to the top, which I'll do just to show how you get the redstone into the corners. Or you might even decide you don't want to light every section, you might want every other section to save yourself some repeaters and some observers, and that's perfectly fine. It's whatever you find is best for you and your world, so you make the decision. Now if you do decide to put in the extra lights along here, it's very simple. You just need to connect up the redstone, and you do that by just adding links from your main cross like this. Pop a repeater in front of each light, each redstone lamp like that, so you can adjust the delay, and connect up the redstone like that. And this one here would come in this corner, and you could extend that signal to this as well, popping a repeater in front of there like that. And one here. Now in this case we bring the signal in from your next branch. Pop a repeater in front of the lamp like that, and then put it all the way over there. Coming over to this side, exactly the same deal. Just bring your wool or whichever block you're using over to your lamp, pop in a repeater, and that brings that here like that. Now if I was to bring the signal from here into this redstone lamp, it wouldn't work because there's too much distance between the source of the redstone flashing redstone in the middle, and this lamp. So we'd have to bring it around for a kick-off because we'd need the redstone going to the back of the repeater, but as you can see it doesn't do anything. So what we need to do, we need to get a repeater in the line somewhere between that redstone, flashing redstone there, and this repeater. So if I pop one in there, you'll see that now the light flashes. Now that is the same deal all the way around the tree and all the way to the top. You just extend the branches so that your redstone reaches the lamps that you'd like. Now as I said earlier, we want to try and, or I at least, try to randomize the blinks, and the way we do that is by adding more repeaters. And the more repeaters we add, the different delays we can achieve. So now as you can see, these lights are now blinking at different times. They're not all coming on at the same time, and they're not all going off at the same time, which gives a wonderful effect of twinkling, I think. What happened there? Pop that back in there. That should be a lamp, not a piece of wool. I'm just quickly going to go around the tree and finish off all of these lights, and I'll meet you on top and we'll put the star on together. So here we are on top of this very grand Christmas tree, and the only thing left for us to do here is to put on the star, the very last embellishment that we have to do. So the way we're going to do that, we're going to come up 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And then we're going to find the middle, which should be around, if I can go the right way, to be around there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So it should be there, shouldn't it? So we should have 4 either side. And then we'll come out 3, and we'll do that on each of the cardinal directions. That's 4 flash. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. And from there it's dead easy. We go 2 and 1. And we do that again on each of the cardinal directions. 2 and 1. 2 and 1, and we do it again under here, but the opposite way around. 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, finally 2 and 1. And then in here we just go like this. We go 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And there we have the star shining bright on top of our tree, all ready for Santa to put the presents underneath on Christmas morning. How wonderful is that? I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and you managed to build this tree in your world. If you do, let me know. You can get hold of me on Twitter at FlashrabbitP. Now all that's left for me to do is to wish you a very happy and sincere Christmas. I hope you have the most wonderful time with your friends and family. I'm probably not going to see you now until after the new year, so happy new year as well. Let's hope it brings some wonderful good luck to you all. But for now, that's all I've got time for. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, leave a like, and better still, subscribe. It really helps me out a great deal. And if you don't want to miss any of my content in the future, press the bell icon and I'll be sure to let you know the next time I upload a video. But for now, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.